Hey, my name is Z, and welcome back to ZC Culture. Today we're going to be talking about 7 ways you can hold yourself accountable. Let's get into the video. The first way that you can hold yourself accountable is to self-reflect. When you self-reflect, you analyze your situations and how you are responsible for things that happen in those situations, and it can make you handle those situations better. 2, recognize your weaknesses. When you identify your weaknesses, this allows you to not dwell in how you already are, but help yourself get better. Make your weaknesses become your strengths, or make them just not be weaknesses, just be something a little bit better. It may not be your strengths, but it may be something that is helping you rather than hindering you. Number 3, focus on ways to get better. The previous tip that I just used, identifying your weaknesses and making them better, is one way that you can focus on getting better. But there are a whole bunch of other ways that you can focus on getting better, of course, but that is one way that you can. 4, understand your responsibilities. When somebody is going into a role or a situation or a relationship or anything, you have certain responsibilities attached to it. And some people know their responsibilities, but they don't understand it. For instance, when you have a job, when you go into a new role, you may have certain amount of days off that you can use, but while still getting paid. But you don't know when or how you can use these days. And that is understanding your time off or understanding your responsibilities. You know that you can't just take time off, but you know that you can use these days in a strategic way to actually get those times off while still getting paid and not being penalized for it. 5, seek feedback. I know this is a hard one, but seeking feedback will actually help you get better. Seeking feedback is one of the hardest things on here besides self-reflection, I feel, for most people, because no one likes to get criticized, especially when you don't know where the criticism is coming from. Sometimes this can not come from a good place, and you may not want to take that criticism. That's not really a good reason to not get criticism in general. I think sometimes you need to put your pride aside, or put anything that's keeping you back aside, to actually know what you're doing wrong and how you can get better. For example, if you are in an argument with a significant other and both of you said some things to upset the other, one way to resolve this from happening again is to sit down with each other and give each other feedback on how that made them feel and how they feel that their partner can get better. And that's on both sides of the scale. That's on both sides of the argument. Providing feedback can actually prevent situations from happening, and it can also just make that person better in self-reflecting on themselves. I can use this YouTube channel to help others and young adults, but sometimes something that I say may come off a certain way, and my friends may tell me this came off this way, and that's feedback that I may not have been ready to hear, but it's helping me get better and helping me with my YouTube channels. 6, set micro goals to improve yourself. This is very helpful when it comes to getting better at something. When you're looking at a big picture, it may be overwhelming, it may be too much to handle at that moment. But when you break that big goal down into micro goals, it can help you accomplish it better and maybe even faster than what you thought you could. Making micro goals will help you analyze what do you really want from this situation or this goal, and how can you get there. Even when you're holding yourself accountable, it can be hard if you're setting too big of a goal where that is so far from where you are right now. For example, if you are a person that says things that is below the belt when you get really upset, one goal would be to not do that when you get upset. But that's far away from where you are now. Even in that situation, when it comes to holding yourself accountable for making people feel that way, it applies to this micro goals and these steps that I'm talking about. Number 7, reward yourself. I was hesitant about putting this tip in this video because unfortunately a lot of time in this current day and age, a lot of people feel that they deserve something, and I have honestly grown to hate the word, because it does, all because you feel like you deserve something doesn't mean you actually worked for it or you actually deserve it. But when you're setting these micro goals, for example, and you reward yourself every time you have completed a goal, it can actually push you to complete the next step and to achieve that bigger goal. When you are trying and you may not have achieved those micro goals and you reward yourself just for trying, it can create a sense of achievement that it doesn't really exist. This is what I needed to explain to actually put this tip in here. I don't want people to take the tips from these situations to reward themselves for things that they didn't actually accomplish. That can actually be detrimental to achieving the bigger goals that you have set. That was all of the tips that I have for you today, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you can like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.